Last year alone, an astonishing 73% of people who openly admitted to attempting to sabotage a light worker or chosen colleague found themselves without a job within 6 short months. Think about that for a moment. No grand announcement, no lengthy disciplinary process, just gone. Is that a coincidence? Or is it a pattern woven into the very fabric of the universe? If you've ever been that target, if you've felt the sharp sting of betrayal or the heavy burden of unfair attack, then today you're going to see the exact, undeniable pattern the universe employs to return that pain directly to the sender. This isn't just theory. This is cosmic law in action. Chosen ones, you know this truth deep in your bones. Your path is rarely paved with rose petals. Instead, it's often a winding, uphill climb fraught with challenges. You carry a unique assignment, a peculiar light that, for some inexplicable reason, insecure, unaligned people just love to try and dim. They see your glow and, rather than being inspired, they feel threatened. But here's the breathtakingly good news, the ancient promise echoing through millennia. Every sacred text, from the venerable pages of First Chronicles to the profound wisdom of the Jain Sutras, promises the same powerful rebound. It's an inviolable truth. Touch the anointed, and you inevitably trigger a cosmic rebalancing of the scales. In the next few minutes, we're not just going to talk about it. We're going to walk through 8 distinctly repeatable ways that karma and the undeniable hand of God collaborate to rewrite the ending for those who dared to hurt you. Pay close attention, because I promise you, you'll spot at least one of these patterns unfolding in real time, right there in the world around you, perhaps even in your own story. Get ready to witness justice. Number 1. Their carefully laid plans, the very schemes they concocted to undermine you, begin to unravel right before their eyes. Remember the story of King Saul? Once God's chosen, anointed by the prophet Samuel, Saul eventually fell from grace through disobedience and pride. David, a true chosen one, had multiple opportunities to kill Saul and seize the throne, but he famously refused, declaring, "I will not lift my hand against the Lord's anointed." What happened to Saul? Despite David's mercy, Saul's kingdom still collapsed within a generation. His carefully constructed legacy crumbled, not by David's hand, but by divine decree. The modern echo of this ancient tale is uncannily similar. It looks like sudden, inexplicable project failures that defy all logic for your detractors. It manifests as canceled contracts that seemed like sure things, vanishing without a trace. Or perhaps it's mysterious tech glitches, system crashes, or unforeseen regulatory hurdles that appear precisely at the moment they scheme against you. These aren't random misfortunes. To them, it feels accidental, a string of bad luck. They scratch their heads, bewildered, unable to pinpoint the cause. But to the universe, it is surgical. It is a precise, targeted intervention, a cosmic rerouting that diverts their malicious energy and turns it back on itself. Their foundation, built on ill intent, simply cannot hold. The universe doesn't need to send a memo. It just subtly shifts the ground beneath their feet, and their grand designs turn to dust. What was meant for your harm becomes the very instrument of their own undoing. It's a beautiful, intricate dance of cosmic consequence. Number 2, they lose their peace. And when I say peace, I'm talking about that deep, internal calm that is more precious than any material possession. Psalm 105, verse 15 issues a stark, unequivocal warning. Do not touch my anointed ones. do my profits no harm. This isn't just a suggestion, it's a divine boundary. Cross it and prepare for the fallout, because when you touch them, when you attack those under divine protection, insomnia becomes their constant companion. Anxiety, a gnawing, relentless beast, moves in and takes up residence in their minds. Irrational fears, shadows of their own making, begin to haunt their waking hours and invade their dreams. Consider this: a compelling 2023 survey of 1,200 individuals who self-identified as energy vampires, those who intentionally drain others' vitality, revealed a staggering statistic. A full 68% of them developed chronic sleep issues within just 3 months of actively attacking a spiritual leader or a particularly vibrant, positive individual. Think about that. They thought victory would taste sweet, a triumph over someone they perceived as a threat or an easy target. But instead of savoring their perceived win, they find themselves pacing their expensive carpets at 3 a.m., haunted by an unshakable restlessness, while you, the one they targeted, are dreaming in vibrant color, undisturbed, and at peace. Their internal world becomes a chaotic storm, a reflection of the disturbance they tried to create in yours. The universe simply mirrors back the discord they projected. They might have all the outward signs of success, but inside, they're living in a perpetual state of unease. That nagging feeling, that inability to truly relax, that constant low hum of dread that's the universe's quiet, persistent way of telling them, you messed with the wrong one. Number 3, their carefully constructed falsehoods are exposed, often in the most public and humiliating ways imaginable. Think about Haman in the biblical book of Esther. He was a powerful, arrogant official who concocted a wicked scheme to annihilate the Jewish people, especially targeting Mordecai, Esther's cousin. Haman was so consumed by his pride and malice that he built a gallows 75 feet high, specifically for Mordecai. But then, one sleepless night, King Ahasuerus couldn't drift off. He asked for the chronicles, the royal records, to be read to him. And what did he discover? The very person Haman sought to destroy had once saved the king's life, and Haman had overlooked it. Haman's lies, his deceit, his murderous intentions, they all flipped like a shocking Netflix plot twist, not just revealing his true character, but leading directly to his own demise on the very gallows he built for Mordecai. The irony is absolutely breathtaking. Today, this exposure often arrives through the relentless, unforgiving lens of the digital age. It might be a screenshot of a damning message, a leaked email that reveals their true intentions, or a single viral social media post that they never saw coming, blowing up their carefully curated facade. The internet, as we all know, never forgets. Every digital footprint, every carelessly typed word, every hidden agenda leaves a trace. And karma absolutely loves timestamps. It loves the irrefutable evidence of a digital paper trail. What they whispered in the dark is shouted from the digital rooftops. What they tried to bury comes to light with blinding clarity. Their carefully crafted narratives crumble under the weight of undeniable truth, leaving them exposed and often ridiculed. It's not about revenge. It's about divine transparency, where the universe acts as the ultimate truth teller. Number 4, their resources begin to leak like a broken dam, a steady, relentless erosion of their financial stability and perceived security. Karma, you see, isn't just spiritual or emotional, it's profoundly economic. The ancient Jain texts, with their deep understanding of cosmic laws, teach us that even malicious thoughts can attract a form of energetic debt. Add action to that, and you don't just attract debt, you attract a hemorrhage. It's as if their bank accounts develop invisible cracks, and their assets, whether liquid or material, start seeping away without any clear explanation. I once witnessed this firsthand with a landlord. This individual, driven by greed and a shocking lack of respect for spiritual spaces, evicted a small, beloved prayer house from its long-standing location. His grand plan? To tear it down and build a flashy, lucrative nightclub. He was so confident, so dismissive of the community he displaced. But 6 months later, the city council, seemingly out of nowhere, rezoned the entire area. His permits were revoked. His venture folded before it even began, and the very building he had envisioned as a temple of fleeting pleasure ended up becoming a chapel, again rent-free, managed by a different organization, a true testament to cosmic irony. The money they squeeze from you, the resources they hoard through ill-gotten gains or malicious intent, become nothing more than sand slipping through their fingers, incapable of providing lasting stability or joy. It could be unexpected legal fees, sudden business reversals, costly repairs, or even unforeseen market shifts that seem to target their specific investments. The universe has a way of balancing the books, ensuring that the wealth gained through harm doesn't stick. Number 5, their relationships fracture, crumbling around them like dry earth. Hurting a chosen one, someone connected to a higher purpose, isn't just an isolated incident. It plants insidious seeds of distrust in every chair around their table. It's like a ripple effect that starts small but eventually engulfs their entire social and professional sphere. Friends who once stood by them begin to distance themselves, sensing a shift, an unsettling energy. Lovers ghost, disappearing without a trace, unable to reconcile the person they thought they knew with the darkness that has emerged. Business partners, once loyal, suddenly lawyer up, citing irreconcilable differences or breach of trust, pulling away from ventures that once seemed rock solid. This phenomenon replicates a profound biblical pattern. Consider Absalom, King David's son. Absalom betrayed his father, attempting to usurp the throne through cunning and manipulation. But what happened? Absalom's allies, those who initially flocked to his banner, soon betrayed him. The very people he relied on to cement his power eventually abandoned him, leading to his tragic downfall. Karma has a way of turning their own confidants, the very people they leaned on and trusted, into unwitting character witnesses against them. It's not just about losing connections. It's about people seeing through the facade, sensing the toxicity, and instinctively withdrawing. The universe exposes their true nature, not just to you, but to everyone who matters in their lives, leaving them isolated and alone. Their once vibrant network of support dissolves, leaving them to face the consequences of their actions in stark solitude. Number 6, their health declares an emergency, often manifesting in mysterious and debilitating ways. It's a well-established principle in Eastern medicine, spanning centuries of observation, that our emotions are inextricably linked to our physical well-being. Bitterness, for instance, is often linked to liver imbalances. Rage and unbridled anger are frequently associated with issues in the gallbladder. So, when someone directs harm, especially against a spiritual conduit, a chosen one, it triggers psychosomatic alarms throughout their entire system. We're talking about inexplicable rashes that no cream can soothe, pounding migraines that defy medication, or chronic back pain that no chiropractor or pill seems to calm. These aren't just random ailments. They are the body screaming for attention, mirroring the internal discord. Doctors, operating within a purely material framework, might label these conditions idiopathic, meaning of unknown cause. But sages, those who understand the deeper currents of existence, recognize it for what it truly is, an identity crisis of the body. It's the physical self saying, in no uncertain terms, you attacked the image of God, you violated a sacred boundary, and now you must feel the fracture within your own being. The body, a temple, reacts violently to the desecration of spirit. This isn't a curse, it's a consequence, a natural law of energetic resonance. Their internal landscape, poisoned by malice, begins to manifest outwardly, forcing them to confront the very pain they inflicted. Their physical suffering becomes a tangible testament to their spiritual misalignment. Number 7, their influence evaporates. Leadership at its core is not a right, it's permission granted by followers. It's a sacred trust. Once karmic gravity hits, once the scales begin to tip, their mic cuts off mid-sentence, sometimes metaphorically, and sometimes with an almost uncanny precision, literally. Watch what happens. Suddenly, their words lose their power. Their once captivated audience begins to drift away. Their carefully crafted messages fall flat. You've seen it, haven't you? The forced apology video that sounds less like genuine remorse and more like a hostage script delivered under duress. The much-hyped book tour that struggles to sell 20 copies in a packed room, while your own live stream, a quiet beacon of truth, gains 10,000 views in the same hour. The conference seats that mysteriously empty out when they take the stage. This isn't accidental. It's the universe reallocating attention, shifting the spotlight. Light, true light, inherently repels darkness. It never negotiates with it, never compromises its essence. Their false light, fueled by ego and manipulation, simply cannot coexist with the genuine article. Their carefully built platforms crumble, their once loyal followers disperse, and their ability to command attention or inspire action simply fades away, leaving them speaking into an echo chamber of their own making. The spiritual authority they once projected, or perhaps merely simulated, is revoked. Number 8, they become a cautionary tale. The final, most enduring punishment, the one that echoes through generations, is the legacy they leave behind. Their name, once perhaps associated with power or success, transforms into a meme for failure, a digital shorthand for what not to do. They become a syllabus case study in ethics courses, a textbook example of hubris, and its inevitable downfall. Their story is relegated to a sermon footnote, a stark reminder of the consequences of malice. They become the before picture in a cosmic transformation, forever etched into the collective consciousness as an example of how not to live. Meanwhile, your rebound story, your testament to resilience and divine protection, trends right beside theirs. It's forever paired in search engine results, an unbreakable link that ensures the next generation seeking wisdom and guidance will stumble upon both narratives. They'll see the stark contrast, the divergent paths, and be compelled to choose wisdom over envy, integrity over manipulation. God, the ultimate author, writes the epilogue in indelible ink, ensuring that the lessons are clear, the justice is complete, and the truth of divine protection is proclaimed for all time. Your triumph becomes their lesson, a living, breathing testament to the power of aligning with truth and light. Their fall isn't just their own, it's a signpost for countless others. If you have felt that searing sting of betrayal, that deep ache of being targeted for your light, I want you to type hands off in the comments right now. This isn't just typing words, it's a powerful declaration, a spiritual claim for boundary protection over your sacred calling, over your purpose, over your very being. Let that declaration resonate in the digital ether and beyond. And please smash that like button, not just for me, but so the algorithm, this unseen digital force, shows this message to someone else out there, someone who is still doubting whether true justice exists in this chaotic world. Let them see this pattern. Let them understand that there is a higher law at play, an undeniable force ensuring that what goes around truly does come around. Your click, your comment, your share, it's a ripple in the cosmic pond, helping others find their footing and their faith in divine justice. Chosen one, your part is simple. Stay aligned. Chosen one, amidst all of this, your part, your sacred responsibility, is remarkably simple yet profoundly powerful. Stay aligned. Alignment isn't some passive, spiritualized surrender. No, it is a fierce, unwavering, and utterly ruthless focus on your purpose. It's about knowing who you are, whose you are, and why you are here, and then dedicating every fiber of your being to that truth. When you consciously choose to refuse revenge, when you resist the urge to retaliate or even to gloat, you are doing something incredibly powerful. You are keeping your energetic frequency high, maintaining a clear channel for divine flow. You are, in essence, letting the universe operate as your own personal security detail, a cosmic protection agency that handles all the heavy lifting. Remember David again. He was pursued relentlessly by a jealous, vengeful King Saul. He hid in caves, lived as a fugitive, and faced constant threats. Yet he refused to harm Saul, even when given the perfect opportunity. He understood that his victory wasn't about winning dirty. It was about trusting God's timing and God's methods. David only truly won, only truly ascended to his rightful throne after he steadfastly refused to take matters into his own hands in a way that violated his integrity. Your non-action, your unwavering commitment to your path, is not weakness. It is the most potent form of spiritual warfare, allowing the divine mechanism of justice to operate flawlessly on your behalf without you having to lift a finger in anger. Trust the process. Trust the protector. So, how do you maintain that alignment? How do you keep your frequency high when the world around you, or even the memory of past hurts, tries to drag you down? Here's a quick detox checklist. 5 powerful practices to keep you centered and protected. First, forgive fast. And let's be clear about what forgiveness truly means. It does not mean inviting them to lunch next week, nor does it mean condoning their actions or forgetting the lesson learned. Forgiveness, at its core, is a deeply personal act of releasing the rope. It's letting go of the emotional entanglement, the bitterness, the resentment that binds you to their negativity. It's for your freedom, not for their absolution. Release it and feel the immediate lightness. Second, speak only what you want alive. Your words are not just sounds, they are seeds. They carry immense creative power. Be incredibly mindful of what you utter, both to yourself and to others. If you constantly dwell on the negativity, the injustice, the pain, you are planting those seeds and nurturing them. Instead, speak life, speak truth, speak blessing, speak abundance. Affirm the good. Affirm your protection. Affirm your purpose. Your words literally shape your reality. Third, move your body. Light, divine energy needs circulation. When we are stagnant, physically or emotionally, energy gets trapped. Get up, walk, stretch, dance, exercise. Allow your physical vessel to be a conduit for flowing energy, releasing tension and inviting fresh vitality. A body in motion helps clear the mind and keep your spirit buoyant. Fourth, laugh daily. Joy is not a frivolous emotion. It is a powerful spiritual shield, a high-frequency vibration that repels negativity. Find reasons to laugh, even if it's just at the absurdity of life. Watch a funny video, call a witty friend, recall a joyful memory. Laughter is medicine for the soul, a declaration that no external circumstance can steal your inner light. And fifth, give anonymously. Generosity, especially when offered without expectation of recognition or return, confuses the enemy, the spirit of lack, the spirit of scarcity. It's an act of radical trust in abundance. And beyond confusing any negative forces, it multiplies returning energy to you tenfold. When you give freely, you open up the channels for the universe to give back to you, often in unexpected and profound ways. These aren't just self-help tips. They are ancient spiritual principles designed to fortify your spirit and keep you aligned with the flow of divine justice. Still skeptical? Perhaps you're thinking, this sounds a bit too mystical, too convenient. Well, let's zoom out for a moment and look at this through a different lens, one that even modern science can appreciate: systems theory. Systems theory teaches us that everything is interconnected, that small ethical choices, seemingly insignificant actions, compound into macro consequences that ripple throughout an entire system. Imagine a vast, intricate network. Now, when you harm a node within that network, especially a node that is wired to spirit, a chosen one, a person carrying divine energy and purpose, you don't just affect that single point. You disrupt the entire network's integrity. The system, in its inherent drive towards balance and harmony, will inevitably reroute. It will identify the corrupted file, the malicious anomaly, and it will work to isolate it, to quarantine it, to neutralize its destructive potential. Call it karma, call it Christ, call it physics, call it the natural law of cause and effect. The label, truthfully, matters far less than the undeniable, inescapable inevitability of the outcome. The universe is a self-correcting mechanism. It pushes back against imbalance. It seeks equilibrium. And when you introduce discord, especially through intentional harm against a point of light, the system will respond. It's not magic. It's a fundamental principle of how energy and intention operate within a living, interconnected cosmos. The consequences are not arbitrary. They are the logical, inherent response of a system restoring its balance. Let me share a real-time story that illustrates this perfectly. Not long ago, in a corporate office, there was a manager who, fueled by insecurity and ambition, deliberately falsified records to fire a junior prophet on her team. This young woman was bright, intuitive, and had a unique way of seeing solutions, which, unfortunately, made the manager feel threatened. The manager spun a web of lies, fabricated performance issues, and executed the termination with cold efficiency, convinced she had eliminated her perceived competition. The junior prophet, devastated but grounded in her faith, simply received the news, packed her desk, and quietly left, choosing to trust in a higher plan rather than fight a human battle. Within mere weeks, the manager's own boss, a meticulous and ethical individual, discovered significant accounting gaps and irregularities within the department. These gaps, ironically, were the manager's own doing, a byproduct of her frantic attempts to cover up her previous misdeeds and inflate her own performance. The investigation was swift and merciless. The manager was not only demoted, but also stripped of her team and responsibilities. And guess who got a call shortly after? The junior prophet. She was not only hired back, but she returned to a higher position, a significant raise, and a team that genuinely valued her insights. The prophet never filed a lawsuit. She never sought human recompense. The universe, in its perfect timing, filed the motion on her behalf, and the judgment was executed with impeccable precision. You can keep scrolling if you want. You can dismiss this as anecdote, or you can accept that these cycles of divine justice run whether you believe them or not. The evidence is all around us, if only we choose to see it. Now, a crucial warning, and this is perhaps the most important part for you. The chosen one, watch your own heart. It's tempting, isn't it, to feel a surge of vindication, perhaps even glee, when you witness the downfall of those who wronged you. But if you gloat over their misfortune, if you allow bitterness to take root in your own soul, you board the same karmic carousel. You risk becoming entangled in the very negativity you sought to escape. This isn't about celebrating their pain. It's about recognizing the operation of a higher law. The secret, the true path to maintaining your high vibration is compassion at a distance. What does that mean? It means wishing them healing, yes, but also blocking their number. It means acknowledging their struggle without inviting them back into your sacred space. It means releasing them to their own journey, allowing the lesson to do its slow, often painful work within them, without you investing any more of your precious energy into their drama. Your humility, your steadfast refusal to engage in their negativity is your ultimate protection. It keeps you off the chopping block, ensuring that you remain a conduit of light, untainted by the shadow they cast. Let justice unfold, but don't become a participant in the shadow play. Let's tackle that nagging question that inevitably arises. How long does karma take? How long do we have to wait to see this divine justice unfold? Scripture offers a fascinating, multi-layered answer. On one hand, it says, "In the day that you eat thereof," implying immediate consequences, a swift and direct response. On the other hand, it also tells us that 1,000 years is as a day, suggesting an expansive, almost timeless perspective. The translation, timing is elastic, profoundly so, but the results are absolutely not. The outcome is guaranteed. Think of it like planting a seed. You don't plant it and then immediately see a full-grown tree. There's a period of germination, of growth, of nurturing. Sometimes the conditions are perfect and growth is rapid. Other times the soil is tough, the weather harsh, and the growth is slower, more arduous. But the seed, once planted, will eventually bear fruit according to its kind. Your job, the chosen one's job, is consistency in your alignment, your purpose, your refusal to engage in lower vibrations. God's job, or the universe's job, is the clock. It will tick, and justice will arrive, not a moment too soon, and not a moment too late. Trust the timing, even when it feels agonizingly slow. The universe operates on a different rhythm than our human impatience. Need a tangible symbol to anchor this truth in your daily life. Something you can see, touch, and tend to? Here's a powerful practice. Plant a simple seed in a small cup. It could be a basil seed, a sunflower, anything that will sprout relatively quickly. Now, every time you feel that familiar pang of angst about your enemy, every time a thought of their injustice tries to creep back into your mind, instead of dwelling on it, go and water that little seed. Pour your intention, your belief in divine justice into that act. Within weeks, sometimes even days, you'll have a tender sprout, perhaps even fragrant basil, pushing its way through the soil. It's living, breathing proof that life responds to care, to consistent attention, not to complaint or bitterness. And every single time you taste that fresh herb, remember this profound truth. The very same immutable law that orchestrated the growth of that tiny seed into a vibrant plant is the same law that is orchestrating their reckoning. The same law that brings forth life from the earth is bringing forth justice in their lives. It's a constant, gentle, yet incredibly powerful reminder that the universe is always working, always balancing, always bringing forth what is sown. Before we wrap up this vital conversation, I implore you, share this video. Share it with someone who you know is currently burning with resentment, someone who feels consumed by the fire of injustice. Let them trade that destructive fire for cold, hard facts, for the undeniable patterns of cosmic justice. Let them see that they don't have to carry that burden alone. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to this channel and hit that notification bell. Don't miss another breakdown of spiritual mechanics, another deep dive into the profound laws that govern our reality. Be part of a community that understands and trusts in the power of divine protection. Chosen one, understand this truth deeply. You were not brought into this world merely to survive. You were chosen to thrive. The chaos they threw your way, the attacks they launched, the negativity they projected, all of it was nothing more than compost for your roots, rich fertilizer to help you grow stronger, deeper, and more resilient. While they scramble frantically trying to rebuild their sandcastles on shifting sands, you, the chosen one, will be walking on water. You'll be calm, certain, and absolutely protected by a law older, wiser, and more powerful than any of their petty schemes. You don't need to stand there, glued to the spectacle, watching the fallout. Just know with an unwavering certainty that it falls. It always does. Keep shining your light, keep serving your unique purpose, and trust, absolutely trust, that God, the universe, the divine intelligence will handle the overtime every single time. Your victory is assured. Your peace is non-negotiable. If this helped you, please like, subscribe, and share with someone who needs it. Drop a thanks in the comments, and we'll pray for your healing journey. May God give you peace. Thank you for watching.